It is now Monday morning. We had a good drying day yesterday, sunlight and a breeze. I'm gonna go ahead and take the tedder over it again today. Hopefully we get some more sunlight today, and maybe later today we can start chopping. Fire up the New Holland here and get to work. They're calling for a chance of heavy rain tomorrow afternoon, so we definitely want to have it in by then. This tedder is pretty sweet. It's a 6-star, folds out nice and wide. Makes quick work of this job. So just looking at it here, it's definitely making progress. Feels pretty dry, but there's definitely some green stuff underneath. So we're gonna flip this over, give it a few hours. It's not sunny right now, but even the breeze will just help it dry out. We're pretty happy with it. I was just talking to my uncle. He's happy with how it's looking. So yeah, hopefully we can start chopping this afternoon. We'll see how it goes. I finished all the fields at the top end of the farm, and now we're down here in this 12-acre field here, and I sped up a bit because it's a little bit lighter. This is my last pass here. It took less than 3 hours to run over everything. It was going pretty fast. The plan is to start chopping mid-afternoon. It's lunchtime now. My dad's eating. He's gonna go pick up the rake that we rent, and we're gonna hook it up to New Holland then. And we gotta get the silo ready. So we have to get the unloader up so that we can fill it. We've got a couple things to do. We're gonna be busy here. I'm in the feed room here. We're gonna be putting all the rye in this second concrete silo. So gotta get it set up. We were still feeding out of it, but it's just about empty. The whole way down here, it's actually below the floor a little bit of the feed room. So I'm gonna get the unloader set up, and we'll have to lift it the whole way to the top. This unloader feeds from the top to the bottom, so it needs to be above the feed. I'll go ahead and close those doors up, and we'll get the unloader set up here. Kind of have to keep moving. I'll be able to show you this better later. Gonna have to just do it right now. So the unloader's slowly going up. Dad's outside running the motor. I'm just in the chute. There's a chute on the outside of the silo where the feed falls down. And there's these doors. As we move it down, the feed will be blown out of these doors. So I gotta close them up here for filling. All right, I'm at the very top of the silo. You can see all the doors. I got closed the whole way down through there. Just one more door open here. But the unloader's coming up. I want to get it up into this metal roof here. There's a metal dome roof on it. We'll get it up above the concrete here, and then the feed will just shoot out of that pipe right there. That's where the fill pipe is, and we'll be able to fill it up. All right, you got about 6 or 8 feet. All right, that's probably good. Okay, yep, that's good. You can see the gooseneck on the other side. Now it's below the unloader, so it's out of the way. Ready to fill this thing up. Just came out of this door. So I was in that chute there. That's the chute that the feed falls down. It's on the outside. Now that the silo is ready to go, we're gonna get the New Holland off the tedder here, get it onto the rake. It is 1:30 in the afternoon now. Rake is set up. I'm gonna go out and start raking. We're gonna see how it looks. So we actually decided to wait a little bit longer. Gave it an hour to dry a bit more. It's 2:40 now. Just stretching the rake out now. So I got my hand controls here to control the rake. We figured it wouldn't hurt to let it dry a little bit longer, just because it's not gonna get too dry on us, and we got a little bit of sunlight now. We don't need to get it bone dry. We're not making dry hay, like baled hay, but we still need to get some of the moisture out. If we would just go and chop it straight out of the field, right after you mow it, it would not store well in the silo. Got to get it dried down to around 60% moisture. It's about where we want to be.
dry. Interesting to see what it tests, but
they're gonna be here soon with the chopper to start harvesting it. So we have a custom harvest crew that comes and does all our chopping. He just showed up here now. Just about to get started. Finishing up the end rows here on this field. I'm gonna keep running rake here to stay ahead of the chopper, and a friend of mine was able to put the drone up a little bit. So these guys are running a chopper and 3 wagons. The chopper's just picking it up off the ground there and just chopping it up into about 3/4 inch to inch long pieces, blowing it into the wagon, and then they're hauling it into the silo, which you'll see in a little bit. So these guys here are a well-oiled machine of efficiency. They keep it moving, fly through the fields, and it takes them no time at all to go through, take off the acres. We spend quite a few $1,000s a year on custom harvesting, so you might be wondering why we don't go out and purchase some equipment like this, make an investment. The reason for it is these are very expensive machines, and the only way it pays is if you run over a ton of acres with them. We wouldn't use them enough to have like a nice chopper like this, so we would either have to get into doing custom work ourselves for other farmers, or we would have to go out and purchase some older, cheaper, junkier equipment, and then you're dealing with the stress of breakdowns and just extra problems. It just makes sense to us to be able to make a phone call, get guys in with nice machines, and they can make quick work of it. Just makes it a little less stressful. Now, it is important that you can have a crew that can come when you need them. These guys are very reliable. Whenever we need work done, they can pretty much be there, at least very close to when would be ideal. These guys are running, they got the 3 carts like I said, with the AGCO you see here, and then 2 Massey Fergusons. They got a pretty nice setup. So they have a camera there on the gooseneck of the chopper. So the guys in the tractors have little screens and they can watch them so they can see how the wagon's filling up. So if the chopper's filled up the front of the wagon first and the guy can't even see the back of it, they're able to see on their screen, and they're really able to fill the wagons up. We are harvesting rye here. This is just a spring forage crop, so we're gonna chop it here, and then we're plans to plant corn then in these fields. So you can see these guys, as soon as one load's full, next one's coming in. Chopper hardly stops. With 3 carts going, they basically have 1 loading at the chopper, 1 in at the silo unloading, and then 1 in between at all times. So it's pretty efficient. Another thing is if you have your own machines, then you got to find help to run them. So we don't really have people ready to go any day of the week to run tractors for us. So if we want to chop, we got to make a phone call to try to get a few guys to run tractors, and then, you know, we still got the dairy to take care of. So it's just a lot more work to try to maintain this equipment, get it set up, and deal with breakdowns or whatever you got to deal with. So for a farm like us, it just makes a lot of sense to pay someone else to do it. We always try to invest money in things that are going to be used a lot. So if we buy something for the cows or make an improvement in the barn, something we're using every day, if you tie up a bunch of money in expensive equipment like this, it ends up sitting in the shed a lot of the year. Now, these guys make it work because they're going out and doing work for a bunch of different farmers. But for us, it's just not worth it. All the fields of the home farm are done here. They're chopping right up there. The moisture's at right around 60%, so that's perfect. Here at the silo, they're unloading into what we call a blower. So this is actually a unique machine that these guys built. It has a stock, like a factory built blower on the back. That's what it has a fan in, it blows up into the silo. Then the front part of it, there's a engine mounted on a wagon. It's a 200 horsepower engine, I believe. So it's got a lot of power. That thing's an animal. It'll eat pretty much as fast as they can feed it. And they're easily able to keep up with the chopper. It has a hydraulic drive on it, so they're able to drive it around a little bit. What they do is they hook that wagon up to the back of their carts. They'll be able to pull into a farm, and rather than having to have an extra tractor on the blower, they can just use their setup there, back it up to the silo, and they're good to go. These are the same wagons they use in the fall then to fill the bunker silo with corn silage. They can just back in and lift the tailgate up and unload out the back, or they can unload out the front like this. That feed feels perfect. It's the perfect moisture. We always have a tough time getting it dry enough, seems like, every year. So it's really nice to have it work out pretty well for us this year. I'm gonna head across the road, keep raking, get it done. This rake is what we call a wheel rake. So it's not powered by the tractor or anything. It's just when you start driving, the wheels spin, pull it to the center. Works pretty good. It actually works better when you drive faster, so it's pretty nice. You can move through the field quickly. Usually going around 10 to 12 miles an hour with it. So I can lift up both sides at once, or I can lift either one at a time, whatever I need to do. So I usually start doing the long rows of the field, and then at the end, once I'm done with those, I'll clean up the ends, do one end row. It goes pretty quick. I had to keep moving pretty good to stay ahead of the chopper, but I was able to. Just got to keep at it. You can see this field here is very small. It's just a little 3-acre field, a little triangle-shaped field, kind of a pain. It's just kind of funny. You see other farmers that are dealing with these massive fields, and then we're messing around with these little 3-acre fields, but it's still worth our time. You know, something we're used to. This is my last pass here. Finishing up the raking. Dad just finished up mixing feed, so he was kind of working at that while he was watching stuff around the silo there. Might go ahead and climb the silo now, see how full it's getting. It should all fit in here, just want to make sure that's actually working out. Before he started running that load in, I looked in this door right here, and it's about 2/3 full. We got plenty of space, so we're getting a lot, but it should all fit in here, so that's a good thing. So everything over there is done. Now they're chopping right back there behind the bins. They're almost done, a couple more loads. We're getting ready to level off. We want to have another blower hooked up just to blow air up into the silo while we're in there. So we got this old thing here in this shed right beside our parlor. Gonna pull this out and hook it up to the John Deere, I guess. Everything's chopped. Last load's going in. About done here.
self-explanatory.
Thanks, Dad.
Okay, we got our fan going. All right, we got plenty of help here. So they're heading up the inside. I'm gonna go up the outside so I can open up the door out here for light. Made it up here. Now I'm gonna open up this door. Not quite to the top, but a good amount. I'm just gonna hop in here and they're gonna come up the inside, up and come out one of them doors there. Jumped inside the silo here. Just got some mounds on the edges. Gonna make it flat for the unloader to work. Then we'll be able to drop the unloader down. So pretty dark in here, but we got my two sisters and Ethan, one of our employees, helping us. So plenty of help, which is a good thing. All right, it's getting dark, but we got it leveled out here. As you can tell, it's flat. Good work, guys. So we're gonna drop the unloader down and set it up quick. Okay, that's good. The unloader is set up. Put the gooseneck up here so that I pick the feet up, blow it right out this door that we have open, and I'll drop it down the chute, all the way down to the feed room, right into the conveyor. Right, guys? You know what you're doing. So it's just augering it into the center, and there's a fan that's blowing it out the gooseneck. These are my sisters. Okay. Good work, guys. All right, we got it done. Had the unloader running, got some out for tomorrow morning's feeding. That really worked out well. When we met it, we weren't sure how the weather was gonna turn out. Some years it doesn't work out good. Sometimes I guess it does work out good, so thankful for that. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you hit the like button, and I'll see you next time.